You don't know what the fuss is about.
I absolutely don't know. But by the time we spend,
All right.
by the time we spend 1 hour doing hair, that's why some of us are blessed.
You know how they say that to people. They say that my right side. I mean, in some of these shows that you watch, you say this is my good side. So take a picture. I don't. That's not the case. This case is just.
Yeah, but we spend so much time
Okay.
trying to find the right position for the hair. You know, trying to find the right position. Are you happy with your hair now?
Yes. If it's not good,
But it
comment.
does it.
All right. Okay.
It
All right.
does not matter.
Okay, so let's start.
Okay. And you're not conscious of the hair anymore.
But it makes no difference. Yeah? So just let's go.
So what exactly do you want to do to it?
No, there's no way I can explain. There's no hair on your head. So let's just start. Yeah.
That's an act of provocation.
No, it's okay.
That's an act of provocation.
It's okay.
Oh boy. Hi everybody. Whether you believe it or not, we have spent the last I don't know how long trying to find the right position for the hair. And
Don't worry, let's just go on.
in fact, the time we have spent trying to find the hair, we would have finished the whole show.
Hi everyone, welcome to Super Homes. And we always ask that if you have questions, that you should please, if there's something that you'd like us to talk about, you should let us know. And so today we're going to talk about what do you do when or if the love fades, the love or the feelings, if they fade. And someone actually asked that question about how do you manage your relationship, whether you're single or married, when the love or the feelings are not there anymore, and that should people just walk away. I assume that the walking away, okay, for both, whether married or single, and you now said that this is not referring to toxic relationships, but just, what do you do when the love or the feelings are no longer there?
You're still touching your hair.
Okay. What do you do when the love or the feelings are no longer there? Don't worry, let's just go on. So
yes, we are going on, but you're still touching your hair. Well, I think you need to talk here because a lot of times you look at couples. One of the things that we have come to agree is that marriage is not for angels. It's for human beings. And not perfect human beings. No human being is perfect. So you have a scenario where you have imperfect people trying to make the best of something in an imperfect environment. So we all go through stuff. The fact that we are happy does not mean we have not gone through some of those phases. And Taiwo was sharing one with me that I didn't even know. Is it that I'm a mumu, I'm just clueless, or I don't know these things? Because last week too, that's how you...
For those who are married, we thank God for our husbands and they're wonderful. But there are times when they have no clue what's going on. So anyway, let me say this. You're talking about marriage not being for perfect people. A lot of times before people get married, you want to marry the perfect man. The truth is that there is no perfect couple. What there is are imperfect couples who come together and make a commitment to work together for the benefit of their home. And then as time goes on, you may see them and think, or they may appear perfect to you, but there's no perfect couple. So we're talking about what to do when the love or the feeling fades. Let me start by saying that if you're going out with somebody, you're not yet married, and the love or feeling has already faded, at that point you can walk away. That one, clearly, you can walk because you're not yet married. I think that one of the reasons why courtship is important is that courtship is that period when you get to know the person, you get to get a feel of, can I live with this person for the rest of my life? That's one of the things that courtship is supposed to do. So when we were talking about this particular question, I told my husband a story that he did not know. About 11 years ago, it was probably about this time, coming to another birthday. I wasn't feeling like, I just, because my birthday comes a day before our wedding anniversary. I wasn't feeling the love, not from him. I was not feeling like I love anybody. I just felt nothing. But the truth is, it made no difference because I'd already made a commitment to my marriage. However, in that period, my husband noticed that I had withdrawn. I'm sure I've mentioned a few times here that of the two of us, his communication is 100%. He communicates perfectly. I'm the one who is not so good. I'm better. Am I not better? Mm-hmm. I'm better now. You're not saying anything. I'm better now when it comes to communicating. But back then, I guess I would talk to myself in my head, but not say half of the stuff that I thought about, So apparently that's what was going on with me, and so I wasn't talking. So what happened was I wasn't even aware that I was in that space. I just knew that I felt, listless. I just felt, I don't know. And so he talked to someone who is like his big sister, who is like a big sister to both of us, and told her, please help me. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's not talking. So Sister Tokunbo now spoke to her pastor's wife, and her pastor's wife asked to speak with me. So I was wondering what it was, and so I went to see her, and she asked me, she said, you're here to see me because your husband has noticed that you're withdrawn. So I said, no, it's okay. I just like to go for walks. I used to go for walks at 5 a.m. in the morning, just walk on my own. Of course, I was not in a good place because I was internalizing stuff that I should have been talking to my husband about. And she shared with me and said, no, you never ever do that. When there is something that's going on in your heart, talk to your husband about it. Don't keep it to yourself. Because she said to me, if you keep it to yourself, the devil will capitalize on your silence. And so I talked to my husband, and he wasn't even aware of the issues that, whatever it was that I was agonizing about. And that's another thing that we found out, that a lot of times, the things that we do not say to each other, if only we said it, we'd be surprised at the response we would get. That the things that we're, going crazy about are probably not even something that the other person noticed. Anyway, but the point I was trying to make was, at that particular point in time, I wasn't feeling like in love and like, yeah, I love my husband. We're having another anniversary and all that. But it didn't change my commitment to my marriage. And the fact that I had someone to talk to, thank God that he spoke up and asked someone to reach out to me. The fact that that person spoke to me let me understand that you don't keep things to yourself. I think one of the ways that couples can drift is when I have my little secrets, things I'm not telling you, or things I'm offended about that I think maybe you have done.
How did you overcome that then?
Because she advised me to sit and talk with you. And when I spoke with you, whatever those issues were, you were like, what? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't know. So can you imagine?
So did the love come back then?
Yeah, because once we started, ouch! Once we started communicating, that's one of my love language. once we started communicating, I realized that there was nothing to have been agonizing about. And the fact that my husband was not even aware that there was an issue, and he explained himself, I realized I should have spoken up about this thing instead of allowing it to build up. All I can say is I allowed the devil to play on my silence.
So was there ever any time when you felt I had drifted?
I'm trying to think. Sometimes in the past, way. But you see, at the time, I told you, I said, you're not talking to me about, one of the ways I would know was, you'll be talking to people about things, and I had no clue about it. You'd be discussing things that you were going to be doing, and ideas you had, and I'd be like, I had never heard it before. Then you say, oh, I didn't tell you. Then I'd say no. And so at that point, we would realize that we're drifting here, and we need to. So, and that's why you notice that I keep saying ever since we began this show that for me communication is key. Communication is number one. If we will talk, it's easy to fix things. When the love or the feeling begins to fade, at the same time, you can be sure communication is either dead or almost dead. Because if I'm not talking to you, listen, marriage is not what keeps marriage going for the long haul. What has kept us together for almost 28 years this month, is not that I have stayed the same size I was. If you saw our wedding pictures, my waist was 24. I won't tell you what my waist is now, but let's just it is not. You don't know. You can't. It's not even the the physical
24.
attraction.
What's the size of my head?
Your head, the size of your head, is bigger now than my waist was when we got married.
Is it, no, wait. So is it that you are saying my head is big or your waist was small?
Both. My waist was small then and your head is big now. Let me finish.
My mother said when I was a little boy schooling in England, and someone said I was a Pakistani bee with a big head, my mother said, tell them your head is full of brains.
Yeah, so this head is full of brains.
Good.
Back to the point I was making. So what I was saying was that what keeps a marriage going for so long is not the physical attraction, is not the sex, is not all that. It is that you are friends. Friendship takes the cup for marriage that lasts the long haul. That's just the truth. Yeah. If this is my best friend, I am his best friend, we talk about everything. Now, it's a tremendous thing that we love each other, we care about each other, but we are, number one, we are friends and we respect each other. So that...
And I think that is, it's simple, but it is so powerful, because I remember that time when you said, I drifted. And let me tell you what happened, guys. And this is why you need to talk, because you may not realize what is happening. At the time you said, I drifted, when I look back at that time, there were other people, And when I'm saying other people, I'm talking of female, that have become your very good friend. And before you know what is happening, you didn't plan to, but before you know what is happening, you are talking. You are planning, Now, it comes in the guise of business, but it's subtle. And so if we had not had that conversation, because what that conversation did was jolted me to reality that, oh my God, in my head, I thought I was talking to you, but I was actually talking to someone else.
And let me say that this is not something that happens only once. This is something that we consciously keep ourselves in line. So if I notice that you're not communicating with me effectively, I don't know what is going on, I bring it up now. I'm not just like, see, he's not talking to me. And we've learnt. So
and it's also nice to know, because you always make fun of me that once I hear English.
You see, my husband has a weakness. He loves English, the English language. Not just English like we're speaking now. He loves people that can speak English very well. People that when they're speaking, they either sound almost British, or like they're American.
No.
If somebody...
It's not British or American. I just like people who can compose their sentences very well, even if it's
people that,
very
thick
African accent.
That can articulate very, very well. He loves
it's
that.
Not
So
British or American.
If he meets someone who speaks good English, he'll be like, Taiwo, did you hear how she was speaking? Maybe I'm speaking Yoruba. I mean, what am I speaking? Am I not speaking English? He will say, did you hear articulation? So English impresses him a lot. So usually when he says that, he's talking to other people, like other maybe people at work, business, or people he meets in the marketplace, you can be sure that whoever those women are, they speak good English. So I always say to him that English. So he's like, so, but the beautiful thing about this is this, that we have learned. So it is not something that he hides. My husband can call me and say, he can say, Taiwo, you need to listen to this lady. Just talk to my wife. Just talk to my. What am I to listen to? To hear the English. Now the good thing about that is that we have managed to deal with the areas in our communication that could have broken down and caused problems. Why did I say all that? If the love or feeling begins to fade, it is not the end of the relationship. It can actually be brought back. One partner may not be interested, or may not even have noticed, or may not even have a problem with having drifted, and what one partner may want things to be restored. For example, that time when I said I wasn't talking, I was not even aware I drifted. I just knew that I was in my own world. And at the time, I was trying to think of how to deal with the things I was disgruntled with, not being aware that my husband was not even aware that there was an issue. And so it wasn't until, this pastor's wife called me that I realized, wait a minute, I drifted completely. And I was talking to my husband at home, but I kept my thoughts to myself. So what I'm trying to say is that we can bring a relationship back when the feelings are gone in a marriage. And I'll tell you a short story. And this is something that actually really happened. This man and this woman have been married for many years. Their kids had grown up, gone to university, got married and left home. So they were now back to, the beginning, like before the children came. And by this time, they had both changed. For the woman in particular, she had put on weight, she had, and all that. And he was no longer attracted to his wife. And that's one of the things that happens when couples drift. He was no longer attracted to his wife. They no longer had anything in common, and they had stopped speaking. So there was no communication whatsoever. But they were still living in the same house, and she would still make his meal. So whenever I was going to work in the morning, she would make him his lunch, like a lunch bag or something that he took to work. And so I think she had read somewhere about how to revive the feeling in your marriage. And so she began to put post-it notes, those sticky notes, on his paper bag, his lunch, his sandwiches. She says something like, have a good day, something like that. Now the husband was shocked because they were no longer talking. They were just like, welcome, have lunch. Their communication was at the barest minimum. So the husband saw it and was shocked, and he had his lunch. But then after that, it became a daily thing. And then he would leave, I think she used to leave home earlier or something. So she would leave post-it notes for him on the fridge, and it got to a point where he said he now began to look forward to whatever she would say next. And slowly, when he would come home, he would ask her, so how was your day? From that point onwards, she now began to notice herself that, gosh, I'm a lot bigger than I used to be. And so she began to go to a gym. And so she began to lose weight. And she kept leaving those notes. And those notes now became more intimate. I love your tie. You're looking very good this morning. You looked a bit worried. Are you all right? And so slowly, the line of communication opened up again. And a few months down the line, there was a slimmer wife. And once she began to lose weight, he became conscious of his little pouch. And so he also he was thinking, gosh. I don't have any. Yeah. This is my one pack bobo. It doesn't have any stomach. Just one pack. One solid pack. Okay, so let's go. So once she began to lose weight, he also felt the need to look attractive for his wife, because it was like he doesn't want any other man looking at his wife. So by the time, I don't know how long, but it took months, a lot of months. By the time they got to the end of the road, they were back in love with one another. They were communicating, and they had restored the relationship.
That's awesome. You know what I want us to do, Taiwo? I want us to, guys, tell me what you think about this. I want us to have a weekend getaway for women. Women to rediscover themselves. I'll tell you what, because of the nature of my work, I meet a lot of women in our age group who are at the top of their careers, but one thing I also have seen through my coaching and all that is that I meet women who, there was this friend of ours, and she's probably a little bit older than us, or same age group. And one day, she nearly broke down. She said, she was she was a professional. She'd gotten a master's degree and all that. But she said, I got married and I stayed loyal to this guy, and I just followed him around, And then she now got to a stage in her life and she began to think, gosh, what have I made of my life? I have nothing to show for my life. And it came as thoughts, and by the time I was meeting with her, it had degenerated into anger, into resentment, and all that, because she felt, you know what, now, okay, what do I have to show for it? How do I recreate myself? And there's another one. They built a business together. She was right there. And I think one of the sad things is that, so maybe they drifted, like we talked about, they'd gotten to a certain age, and next thing, when they are settled and it's like, this is now the time for us to, next thing, the guy has taken off with one of his female staff, and she's left there. And it's so unfair that not that I'm saying they should do it, but it's so unfair you find a 60-year-old man taking off with a 25-year-old, but rarely will you find a 60-year-old woman taking off with I'm not saying.
And we're not advising.
I'm not saying take off.
We're not saying tit for tat. Yeah.
No, we're not saying that.
Yes, yeah.
But so a lot of these women get to a place where they feel almost. Maybe this is a bit harsh, almost used and dumped. And it's like, what do I do with my life? They and my heart goes out to such people. And I think we should just have a discovery weekend or so, where we just go out. Ladies, let me know what you think of this. A discovery weekend for ladies, because I think if they don't package it well, they will get the wrong end of the stick. They get a raw deal. And unfortunately, I met a lady. I was working in Tanzania, and I met a lady who said she will never ever get married again. She's senior, never get married, and you could sense the resentment and hostility towards men. And I said, my dear, one man is a bad sample out of so many billions of men. But what had happened? Exactly the same thing. She had supported this guy. They got to a stage. Then he took off. And she feels, what do I have to show? What can I do with my life? And all that. And I told her, I said, the danger of it is you will now, if you do not deal with yourself and rediscover yourself, you can find yourself in a place of resentment and anger, and unfortunately, unforgiveness, which will hold you further. Yes. And meanwhile, the guy has gone on and is enjoying his life.
He may regret it. He may regret it much, much later. But at least, at that period, at that point when the woman is grieving and is angry and full of all the resentment, it looks like his life has
so I sincerely think we should have that discovery weekend. Let me tell you how crazy my thoughts are. We should have a discovery weekend we have a lot of viewership in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Uganda, and we just this discovery thing for women, we develop a product and just take it around different countries, because unfortunately many of them don't know what to do next. You know, many don't know what to do next. Guys, let's know what you think about this. But I think in terms of takeaway for today, don't keep it in. Don't keep it in. And like in my case, once I saw that my wife was drifting, I quickly looked for help. You know, please don't think you are macho. Was that you called me? Alpha?
An alpha male. Gosh, we talked about so many things today. I was saying that you want me to say all this? I was saying that my husband is an alpha male. You know, an alpha male is, if you know.
They know what an alpha male is.
Anyway, he's an alpha male. And I said that, but he's able to be that. And I have no problem being that because I have allowed him to flourish. To flourish in his in his gift and in his in his abilities. Let me tell you the truth. If I was if you've listened a few times, you'll hear my husband say that the thing that I don't stress him. Stress is my husband's kryptonite, if I can put it that way. If Superman kryptonite. If he was in a stressful relationship, he would not be doing half of what he's doing today.
I would have run
and
away long
he would
ago.
not have been able to fulfill his purpose and destiny. So that shows that we do have a role to play. The man is not an island and is not able to do everything by himself. Marriage is, like I said in the beginning, about two imperfect people that come together and make a commitment to work together towards a perfect home.
So what I was saying is you might be an alpha male, but you don't have all the answers. And when you find yourself in a position where you sincerely don't have an answer, look for help. I called my sister. I said, this is the problem I'm having. She stopped talking to me. Look for help. Because what that help will do will, even if it is just to bring you to a point where you now talk, it is amazing. And then in the course of, like I said, I didn't know I had drifted. But when she began to say, you don't talk to me, then I realized, because we need to, it's amazing. Human beings need to communicate. I think
communication for me
but what I'm saying is human beings need to express themselves.
Yes,
So if your spouse is not able to express himself or herself with you, make no mistake, an expression is going on somewhere. He's expressing himself to someone. All right? And I think the ultimate goal is that we make sure that in our relationships, we are that person that our partner can express themselves to. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys, there's more stuff we have on, please. This is Kenya. We've rolled out our Street University platform in Kenya. We started with Kenya. Even the Bible says start in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria. So we started in Kenya. So you can go to www.thestreetuniversity.com, subscribe, register, be on that platform. The things we have for you on that platform is phenomenal. You have endless videos on empowerment, and some of these things you're going to have, even people who have been through abusive marriages, people who have been through marriages that didn't work and things like that. In the school of family health or whatever, you will see that there. So there's a lot of content for that, content for people in business, content. There's a lot of, we have a school of spiritual intelligence, so much content going on there. So if you're in Kenya, you can subscribe. Just go to www.thestreetuniversity.com and register. Once you register, you get the instructions. So I'm really excited about that. We thank God for that, and thank God for all the support we've received in terms of people reaching out to us. And I just want to do a shout out to a few people this morning. First of all, I want to thank all of you who are just so consistent. You know, it's exciting. I know that even if nobody is there, there are some people that are just there. You know, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And honestly, we are here because you are there. So thank you so very, very much. I want to do a big shout out to my aunt, Mama Ademowo. You know,
thank you so much, man.
I was, you know, I was the ring bearer at their wedding.
Yeah.
Many years ago. You know, so hey, that was years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such a privilege, Mama, to have you on this platform. I want to give a big shout out to, there's this sister, Olabisi Olanrewaju, who is always commenting and, you know, just being very expressive. We are grateful. Thank you so much. Kanchi Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's so awesome being here. And then, and all of you that were just siding with Taiwo last week, and don't think I did not see you. I won't mention names, you know, people like Olive. I won't mention names. You know, but thank you so much for being here. Peter Mashari Amangi. God bless you, man.
God bless.
So good. Thank you so much for being here. So that's it. I just want to thank everybody, and please do this. Like this page, follow, and share.
Yes.
Like, follow, share. Even as you are writing your comments, tag people along. All right, so they can experience, you know, and just hear this stuff. And please make sure you go right now, www.vstreetuniversity.com if you're in Kenya, and just register right away. We'll see you on the other side of that website.
Thank you, and God bless.
All right.